And it made me think, what if everything we did, we had to have a tagline? Like every time I made a comment on social media, it had to say, Michelle O'Connor, follower of Jesus Christ. Like would people, because sometimes you read comments and then you go to the person's profile and it's like, follower of Jesus. And I'm like, doesn't really look like it. So
as a follower of Christ and having those beliefs, they should flow out of you, which the more you pursue that, the more that will be flowing out of you. Mm-hmm. This is Ryan and Michelle, and welcome to the Celebrate MarriageCast, where we hope to restore and reclaim godly marriages through honest and real conversations.
Welcome to episode 144. We are so glad you're joining us today. Welcome to the show, Ryan.
Yeah, welcome, Michelle. It
what do you have for us?
Summer.
It is.
World Cup is in full swing.
Loving all of the games. I think we have been catching the highlights for the games every day.
Yeah.
Just got going when we're recording this. It just got going last week, and we have been loving it.
Yeah.
Go USA. So far, so good.
For all the soccer fans, it's a fun time of year.
And I think when this airs, I think our friend Tony is going to be going to his game.
Oh, yeah.
Around now.
Yeah.
Super excited to hear about that too. It's like we're gonna be there through him.
Yeah.
Get all the updates.
Yeah, Michelle, we've really been taking advantage of, we don't have the channel, so we watch it on Telemundo.
Yeah, it's great. Because all you really need to know is, goal!
Yes.
I need to practice my breathing so I can get all the syllables of goal as long as the announcer. But we've been enjoying it.
I will say it's so much more entertaining to watch it in Spanish.
I love it. And I feel like I can pick up on keywords. So...
yeah, it's been really fun. So,
I really like the commercials too. They've been entertaining.
Yeah.
They're all, soccer themed.
Yeah. So shout out to Telemundo.
Are we talking about insurance today?
Yes, Michelle.
Or no?
Yes.
Not really.
Well, kind of.
Okay.
So, Michelle, in the insurance world, there's a term called P&C Insurance. So this is short for property and casualty insurance. So what does that mean? Think of property insurance. It covers your things. Right?
Like your house?
Your house, your car, things like that.
Okay.
Casualty insurance covers your legal responsibility, or another common phrase is liability insurance.
Okay.
So it would cover you in the event that you are at fault for something.
Okay.
So,
so would that be for a car accident or no?
Yeah.
What's an example of that?
Yeah. So if
our son hit a baseball into somebody's window, would that cover it?
Yeah. I mean, I think of something like if something happens on your property to somebody, it's going to cover a certain liability.
Okay.
Up to a certain amount of money, and it would cover anything that,
Got it.
you are liable
Somebody
for.
trips on the crack in the sidewalk or the lip of the sidewalk or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah,
okay. So
exactly.
property is your things.
Yeah.
Casualty is bodily harm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay.
So Michelle, we're going to do something fun here, and it's not really about insurance.
Fun and insurance.
But we're going to use a two-part show here. So we're recording part one, obviously, right now. Part two will be next week.
Okay.
But we're going to break this down, the acronyms of P&C, to help insure your marriage.
Oh my gosh, Ryan, I love that you're bringing your work wheelhouse onto the show.
Yeah. Yeah. So today we're going to focus on the first part of that acronym. We're going to discuss the letter P.
Okay.
And what that stands for in this analogy.
So in the case of a marriage, what would the first letter be then? The P.
Yeah. So we are going to talk about pursuing.
Pursuing.
So what you pursue will dictate how your marriage will unfold. So what you pursue will dictate your future. The Bible says in Hosea 10:12, I said, plant the good seeds of righteousness, and you will harvest a crop of love. What you pursue will unfold.
I love that. So we're talking P&C. The first one is this week, and we're talking pursuing. So next week, we'll talk about C.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Stay tuned.
So stay tuned. So let's talk about pursuing. So there are really two keys to pursuing that will help ensure that your marriage is all that God intended it to be. And the first one is probably the Sunday school answer. It's Jesus. Actually, you have the first key is to pursue God. So pursuing God. And that's what we're talking this like part 1 and part 2 of pursuing today. So the first one is to pursue God above all things. So we know there's scripture about building your house on the foundation that will be sturdy, that it won't wash away in a storm. And that's done by pursuing God. A few weeks back, we talked with our friend Tony Bohr, who is taken in the World Cup right now. Yeah. But we talked with him about the importance of faith in marriage. And pursuing God will change how you show up as a spouse, will change how you show up as a parent, and all areas of your life, as a person, in the workplace, or just as a human being. It will change everything. And Ryan, I think about it, just like it flows out, right? The fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, gentleness, goodness, self-control. All of those fruits, did I get them all?
Faithfulness, did you say
faithfulness. Sometimes I get one of them out of order and that throws it. I think so. Yes, so faithfulness. So when you're pursuing God, you are naturally living out those fruits. If you pursue peace, peace will overflow from you. If you pursue those other fruits, if you pursue Jesus, those will flow out of you. Ryan, the other day, the first day of the World Cup, Starbucks had a promotion where you could go and get this cup sleeve.
Yeah.
It was super exciting. I got a hot tip from you. And then I literally ran out of the house and I was like, bye everybody, I gotta go. I'm like, I gotta get there. And I got one. And I was so excited about it. When I went on to their social, I wanted to comment like, hey, I got one, so great. I mean, you see this all the time, negative stuff on social, but it was really shocking to see. I bet 90% of the comments were just people being so critical. Here, they try to do this really cool, co-branded offer. It was Starbucks and World Cup. They were giving away for free. And people were like, it would be better if you brought back this drink, or, oh, what about, this country? Well, it turns out you could actually go to the other countries and get one. But people were just like complaining. And I just thought, this is yuck. Like, this is so yucky. People are being so ungrateful, unkind, not logical. They're being just really like not living out the fruits of the Spirit. And I went ahead and made my comments on both of their posts. One was, I was like, oh, I got mine. And, our son wore the captain's sleeve outside as he was playing tonight. Like, so fun. What a brilliant cross-promotion marketing idea. Way to go, Starbucks. And then the other one was for all the different countries they had sleeves for. And I was like, oh, this makes me want to book a trip to all these countries now. And obviously we're not going to, but, and they wrote back to both. And I just thought, you know what? Whoever's managing that social media probably is like, oh my gosh, more complaints. And I just hope that my comment was a bright spot to them in their day. And it made me think, what if everything we did, we had to have a tagline? Like, every time I made a comment on social media, it had to say, Michelle O'Connor, follower of Jesus Christ. Like, would people, because sometimes you read comments and then you go to the person's profile and it's like, follower of Jesus. And I'm like, doesn't really look like it. So I think the whole point of this is when you're pursuing God, it flows out of you in every area of your life, your spouse, but also every area. So anyways, that just made me think of that. Like, if we're really pursuing him, it should come out in every area of your life.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that, Michelle. And I think it's so spot on. I think back like what Tony said is there's so many of those qualities, those fruits of the Spirit, right? That as a follower of Christ and having those beliefs, they should flow out of you, which the more you pursue that, the more that will be flowing out of you. Mm-hmm. And so like Michelle, I wrote this and I'm like, this is totally the Sunday school answer, but I can't get away from that because I do believe that is so true that the more you pursue God, the more that flows out of you.
Because you're pursuing learning about his likeness and you're growing in relationship with him. And I think it's a natural byproduct of that growth is that you will start to reflect those characteristics, right? Yeah. You can't be growing in closeness with God and still living out an angry life. Like those don't go hand in hand.
Yeah. I think of two of those fruits of the Spirit of being so necessary right now. And it's like, I'm just like, if you pursue love love will flow out of you.
Mm.
If you pursue peace, peace will flow out of you.
Yeah.
Love and peace, I think, are two things that are needed, obviously, in marriage, but just in being a human. I think those are two characteristics that the more we pursue God, the more we will have those things, and the more they'll flow out of us.
I think, Ryan, as we pursued God individually, I have seen that play out so strongly in our marriage, and that you truly are more patient. And I feel like I'm more patient, and things that maybe would have bothered me, a decade and a half ago, just don't. Like, you really have a better perspective of the grand scheme of things, and those smaller things. I mean, do I still get frustrated or worked up? Yes, but I feel like it's so much easier to let things go with you and the kids. And it's just, it really changes your perspective, and it changes how you respond.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I think too, pursuing God needs to be a daily thing. It can't just be on Sundays either.
Right.
Our entire family has daily time in the Word. Our entire family, Ryan, myself, our 20-year-old daughter, and our 11-year-old son, every one of us is in the Word daily.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is shown on the outside.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because the growth and changes happening on the inside, and that fruit is being displayed.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, Michelle, the second key here is we're talking about pursuing. One, obviously, the most important, pursuing God. The second is to continually pursue your spouse. So are you still dating your spouse? Are you still actively working on your marriage? So I'm going to use a sports analogy because I love sports. So, but think about this. Pick any sport, right? Are last year's champs automatically in the championship this year? Right?
No.
Do they get a free pass to the finals because they won it last year? No, they have to keep putting in the work. They have to keep pursuing that title if they want to win. I think oftentimes in marriage, right? Like, we get married and we win the prize, right? Like I won the prize.
Got the catch.
Right? But we don't realize that each year, it starts a new season. You
have to re-win it, re-earn it.
You have to continually fight. You have to continually put in the work, continue to strive, keep practicing, keep pursuing excellence in your marriage. It doesn't you don't just win, you get married and you win and everything's great. You have to put in that time. You have to keep pursuing your spouse.
I love that, Ryan. That is such a brilliant analogy really then, if you're still talking about the championship you won 15 years ago, kind of, I don't want to say it's a has-been mentality, but kind of, is anyone still talking about that? You need to keep doing it, keep going, keep winning, keep pursuing your spouse.
Yeah.
I think about how often we've shared that you're always moving in a direction. You're either growing or you're dying. There's no such thing as just staying and maintaining in your marriage. Truly, if you had to pick one, maybe answer it right now. Which direction are you going? Are you growing? Or are you dying? Is your marriage growing or dying? You can't. There's no such thing. You're always moving in a direction. So I think that's where coming to pursuing your spouse daily is so important. Don't let your marriage be a has-been championship. You gotta practice. You gotta show up. You gotta want it. You gotta go for it. You gotta earn it.
Yeah. Michelle, I
got kind of fired up there.
I'm gonna say this. Hopefully, I don't ruffle any feathers here.
Do it.
But part of if you're somebody that still thinks about the good old days, today should be the good day.
Yeah.
Every day that you're given in your marriage, in your life, should be the good old days. It should be. You shouldn't be looking backwards at. And I know people like this that look back and say, well, back in high school, we won the state championship. And it was and it's okay to have that memory.
Sure. Yep.
But if that's still your crowning achievement, man, you need to start making,
sure,
making actively pursuing.
Yeah.
something now.
So let's roll that over into marriage then. So if you're still looking back and saying, well, when we got married, we did this really awesome honeymoon, and it's been 5, 10, 20, 30 years, we need to get actively pursuing.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm a firm believer in just making the day count. And that's where I think constantly pursuing your spouse and just keeping that, like you said, Michelle, it's growing, growing or dying, or, creating excitement, creating that spark of just continuing to pursue your spouse as if it's the best day of your marriage, or trying to make it that way, and I think, I'm going to go back because the high school football thing, I just want to I've been out of high school a while now. And so that's where I'm thinking back of man, if you're holding something 20 plus years ago,
sure.
That's the reference that I'm using of man, it's time.
For sports or anything? Are you applying that to marriage though?
Yeah, I mean, I think for marriage too, I think you're right on, Michelle, when it was if you think oh, we got married, for us, we're coming up on 15 years of looking at that and
sure.
Yeah, just keep that excitement, keep that spark going.
Yeah.
Keep pursuing your spouse.
And I want to say too, because we just did this with our life group. We sat around and I was just curious, hey, what sports did everyone play in high school? I think that's really fun. That is okay to share and reminisce and is fun. That was super fun to get to know about people. You're saying if somebody is constantly looking in their rearview mirror and not being fully present in their life today.
Yeah.
Not pursuing their spouse, not pursuing those moments today.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's holding on to that being the best, the best, the crowning achievement.
Sure.
If you're looking back 25 years and saying that was the peak, I don't know, it's time to go ahead.
Yeah. No, to create those current memories.
Yeah. I think it's time to find a different mountain to climb and start climbing.
Because I think what you'll find too is that in 15, 20 years from now, you'll look back and be oh, 2026, those are the good old days. So it's easy to glamorize days of past. So just realize you are in that time right now.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Ryan, when you were talking about pursuing daily, I did have this fleeting thought about Valentine's Day. And also speaking of ruffling feathers, we've talked often about how, we love Valentine's Day, but then the argument is, well, I don't need it because, and it's long past now, but I don't need Valentine's Day to tell me to celebrate my spouse every day of the year. So I think my question now is, now that we're many months past Valentine's Day, is, are you doing it? Are you doing it? Are you pursuing your spouse daily?
Yeah.
So, and I love that this reminder, we do both. Pursue daily, but also celebrate those fun holidays too. So I think it's just a good check. Are you pursuing God daily or are you pursuing your spouse?
Yeah.
Those are the two important P's of the P&C.
Yeah, absolutely. That ultimately, I think if you continue to pursue God, you continue to pursue your spouse, those two things will help to quote unquote insure your marriage.
Woo. I love it. That's great. So for our listeners, think about right now, where are you needing to grow or to increase your time in a certain area or to really prioritize differently for pursuing God and pursuing your spouse? How are you doing? And where do you need to change?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have a mystery question?
I don't. Do you have one?
I don't have one off the top of my head other than I'm really excited to see how your World Cup predictions land. That I think was our last one that we did.
Yeah.
Was who's going to the World Cup.
Yeah.
So, no, we're just plugging along. We're working on our bucket list. We're doing all the fun summer things.
Yeah.
And I don't have a question.
I don't
other than what's for dinner. What should we have for dinner? We have life group tonight, so we're going to dinner, our date dinner, and then we're heading to life group. Yeah. So we're looking forward to that. We've decided to meet all summer long, which is great. We're looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So Well, hey, if you don't have a church home, we would love to have you join us. We're doing something really fun this summer. We're doing community time in between services. So we have our 8:30 a.m. service with the time of community and fellowship afterwards and some light appetizer type foods, and then a 10:30 service with the same thing afterwards. And it's really meant to just help people hear testimonials about what God's doing in the church. We've asked and designated people to share. No one's being put on the spot. These are appointed people. And then each weekend, a different ministry hosts that food and that serving line. And then people just sit around and they laugh, and there's fun things for kids to do, and giant bounce house this past weekend, and just a really great time to meet somebody, because we know how important community is in life, in marriage, and to be a follower of Christ. So we'd love to have you be a part of that if you're in the Sioux Falls area. Otherwise, you can watch us live online at Celebrate.church or on social media. We hope you have a great week.
Have a great week.